Hello and welcome to day 5 of the morning after the Euros. And well, I think we should stop predicting results because none of them are going the way we are predicting it. So, yeah, let's not do that today. But yeah, Gareth Bale turned up. Turkey did not. Italy turned up. And the Russia versus the Finland game, it was quite entertaining for a 1-0 one. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Bale because like if anybody who watched yesterday's show would have realized that we were both wrong, right? Like we both were kind of out on Bale,
Yeah.
and he was awesome. Like especially like he was cutting into midfield, like
Mhm.
he was on the wing, dropped off, cut into midfield, and was lobbing those balls. And he did that exact ball 3 times. I think like to Ramsey, like at least
Yeah.
twice to Ramsey. I think another one he put in similarly.
And one was
Even
the
the
assist.
yeah,
I mean, he
and
gave
one
both
was
assists,
obviously the assist.
but the one which you're talking, like coming from the wing,
Yeah,
delivering the ball from above the midfield, perfect ball, perfect timing. Ramsey timed it well, and then yeah, to score
oh,
the first one.
he timed it well twice, and the first time he completely missed it, and then suddenly like I like referring to the group chat that I'm part of because it's generally they're quite comically wrong about things. and, and they were like, oh my god, Ramsey's so bad because he couldn't finish a couple of chances. Like one of them
Yeah,
was an excellent save in the first half, and the
true.
second one,
Yes.
yeah, that was a poor miss. But
Mm-hmm.
the problem with that, looking at it that way, is that you didn't see the fact that he was 3-4 yards behind the defensive line and he timed his run so well that he was onside and he
Yeah.
got in. Like he was surprised that he was onside. That was such a good run. Like how many runs have you seen in the past 5 days at that level, at that quality, which were onside? Like look at Kylian Mbappe. He was not able to time those runs well enough because he was getting going offside multiple times.
Yeah.
Like give credit to the guy for getting there in the first place to blaze it over. He did blaze it over. Fair enough, but it's sometimes it's quite obvious. Like look at what happened to create the chance. Also, look, just don't look at the chance in isolation or just that moment when he's kicking the ball once. Look at
Mm-hmm.
the touch before that. Look at the run before that. Like nobody else was doing that. Nobody else in this whole game was doing that. Nobody else was getting in behind the defense like the
Yeah.
way Ramsey was.
Yeah. 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 Almost like turning on his like peak Arsenal days when he used to score,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
somebody used to die the next day
Yeah,
after
his
that.
runs used to be excellent. He used to do it from a different position. Like he used to be late runner. He was a late runner, but this time these were early runs, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
his running skill was quite like we knew he had the ability to move into those channels and make those runs. And he just modified it a bit. Like I haven't seen this Ramsey before. I'll be honest. Like the finisher Ramsey, like the guy who's supposed to get into the box early and be at the end of Gareth Bale balls. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah.
So
And what did you make of Bale's second assist? Like he just ran past four defenders like they were not existing to like
oof,
give it a
yeah.
tap in for the last goal of the game. I mean, the second goal
Wales
of the
should have
game.
scored a lot more, shouldn't they? They had so many chances yesterday.
Oh yeah,
So many.
they had like 6 shots on target and 6 also off target, and of course from those 6, like 6 were blocked. And as far as I can
Yeah.
remember, like Sianchu was most of them, along with
Yeah.
the goalkeeper. So yeah, I think it was quite the game. Like in terms of yesterday's, all the games were like top notch, top drawer in terms of
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
entertaining. And in spite of like just seeing 6 goals in 3 games,
Hmm.
but yeah, compared to like the 10 ones which we saw the day before yesterday,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think the group is shaping up pretty well, and now
We have to talk about Turkey, right? We have to talk
yeah,
about how they've been easily the most disappointing team of the tournament till now.
my Turkish
Easily.
friend says that they always anyways overhype their team based on the potential they have.
Yeah.
But yeah, given that he also expected them to like make it out of the group, now it's a no go. They're not going to do it. They need
Yeah.
to
I
win the
think
next
it's.
game.
I think this is done. Yeah. This was the toughest group to qualify from. Like one long result and this thing is over. Like
Yeah,
you're done.
yeah.
And I think the Italy result was still. I think Turkey could have expected that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this one, this one is the problem one. Like this is the result that Turkey will look back on and be like, yeah, this is where we fucked ourselves.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add about this game? Anything out of the world, out of the blue that you found? Something strange, something exciting? Or it is
And James
just
has been great. I am
yeah.
loving what he's doing. He's
Mhm.
been his crossing is, I haven't seen this kind of crossing from him actually. Like his crossing is excellent. Like I wonder how Edison Cavani doesn't like his crossing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because
he also
he put in a
doesn't.
few brilliant balls, like in the first half at least. Second half, it wasn't as much, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I mean, I was just saying like he just doesn't play a lot, is what is the feeling that I get, given
Oh
like so
yeah,
much.
but must be a reason why he's not playing a lot, right? So
I mean, then in that case, why is Van der Beek not playing?
yeah,
For somebody
exactly.
running the
Yeah,
show
like I
in the Champions League semifinals. But yeah, uh, he just had one of the seasons where he would like to forget it. But let's talk about
yeah
Italy
yeah
and
yeah.
not about a Dutch midfielder. Um,
Hmm.
that was a game. Like they have these phases.
Hmm.
Of course, like Kileni, goal disallowed, handball, fine. Then he goes off injured, substituted,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they wake up. I mean, I'm not saying that though they woke up because Kileni was gone, but
Hmm.
that was also like quite the game. And they're scoring, making this have a habit of scoring late, no? The third one was
Yeah.
scored in the 89th,
I
85th
don't
minute.
like Chiro Immobile. Like, just want to cut you off there. I don't like him. He doesn't contribute enough to the game. Like, that's my biggest problem with him. He's the
Mm-hmm.
opposite of Roberto Firmino. Like, Firmino supposedly can't score goals. Like, I'm talking about the public perception of Roberto Firmino. I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
actual player.
Yeah.
Like, and Chiro Immobile does not do anything except for scoring goals. Like that goal he scored was the only thing I believe that he did in that game. Like, he was he's not involved in the build up. Like I thought Berardi was excellent yesterday, but
Mm-hmm.
Chiro Immobile, like, unimpressive to say the least, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they anyways, like the Wales game was entertaining, the Russia game was entertaining. This one was like
Hmm.
quite normal because anyways,
Hmm.
Italy didn't have like most of the ball. It was
Yeah.
51-49. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they had like more shots on target and
Hmm.
numerically, statistically, they were way ahead.
Hmm.
But yeah, and also they had their support there, and they missed a few square offs as well. Like somebody should have squared it off and didn't, and
Hmm.
Mancini lost
Oh yeah,
it.
multiple times that happened. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but as always, we don't have like much to contribute about this Italian team because they are not being tested. So I
Yeah.
think we'll only like do their
I
postmortem
think I think
once.
we can talk a lot about the Switzerland team though. Like they were so weird yesterday. So weird. Like
Yeah.
it felt like Shaqiri is Shaqiri supposed to always look like that he couldn't be bothered to turn up for this. He looked so uninterested. Like
Yeah.
Seferovic has had that problem. Like that has been publicly documented so many times that this guy just does not turn up. And I mean, what was going on? Like I think Zubair, who came on in the second half, was the only attacking player who was actually willing and pushing himself. Like, okay, let's get in, create a couple of things, like
Mm-hmm.
wreak havoc somehow. Like Donnarumma was equal to it, but Zubair was the only player on that team who actually looked like he gave a fuck.
Yeah.
The rest of them were just roaming around. Like Embolo, obviously, but Embolo you can play him out of the game, right? Especially if the link play is not good enough from around you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when Shaqiri is doing nonsense, and then Seferovic was taken off at halftime.
He had
Like
one blocked.
completely. Like look, even the numbers. Like I saw the running stats for the teams, and like Italy had run like 4 or 5 more kilometers more than the Swiss team,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm just
and
trying to find.
they had a lead for quite a bit of it, and even then you're not running. Like why? Like do you not want to win? Do you want to just go home? Like give your place to some other team who would at least make a meal out of it. Like give Hungary that spot instead. Like switch groups with them. Get beaten the shit out of Portugal and France. Then
Yeah.
like let at least Hungary give themselves a chance to qualify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And
that is pathetic. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was saying like this was like out of the 4 teams, out of the 6 teams that played yesterday, this was the second one that did not turn up, like couldn't be bothered. I mean, Xhaka had a
Yeah,
decent game, but apart from that, everybody was
yeah,
like
yeah. Xhaka
nowhere,
was actually good. Yeah,
nowhere where they could have been. And yeah, I think they deserved that scoreline. I mean, it's the default scoreline when like a team decides to forfeit, and basically they were not existent
Yeah,
anyways.
exactly. Like in FIFA, right? Like when the team forfeits, it's a 3-0 scoreline. That's basically what Switzerland did. They forfeited and they deserved that third goal to
And
be hit in their face. Yeah.
and yeah, but the second one is also similar, not so far away, but like close to the 18 yard and but still outside the box. So
Yeah.
yeah, what is I, two defenders instead of attacking the ball, they're like waiting for the ball for who scored the second goal for him to like
Locatelli. It was Locatelli
yeah
with both the
Locatelli to
goals
to
in the
like
first in the
bang it
first two
inside.
goals.
And
Yeah.
why aren't you like
But that was
attacking
an
him or
excellent finish though. Like he picked out that spot. There
yeah
shouldn't be that much of a gap for the ball to squeeze through, especially when both of you are together. Like the
yeah
keeper is covering the other post because Sommer was ready for that ball. And Locatelli caught them out and they got caught out. Like you had to cover one part of goal and you didn't even do that well enough. Like full credit to Locatelli for getting the best of them.
mhm,
But
yeah
you still have to like that's what my problem was, right? Like they did not turn up, they did not seem interested. The third goal also Sommer was poor there, like he had to save something like that, like
the defense has gone to like I don't know for a walk in the park. Like there's no organization, no I mean no line as well. So
yeah,
like
no
they could have
tracking
never
at all.
caught
Like
in.
Locatelli was so open for the first goal. Like, yeah, it's a midfield runner, so you that's not the run you're expecting. That's fine. But even
Mhm,
then, like one of the midfielders is supposed to pick him up because Locatelli is the one who put that ball into Berardi, anyways.
yeah yeah
And then he was able to sprint the whole length. Okay, one guy got occupied with Barella because Barella was stopped outside the box. And then Locatelli just walked in. Nobody even saw him by the looks of it.
mhm,
And he was able to put it in. And excellent. Berardi and Locatelli were excellent yesterday. Excellent.
yeah yeah. And then finally the third game, which was I think the game of the day. So
Hmm.
many chances like this. I was preparing notes
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, this game had everything. Well, it did not have everything, but it had everything in terms of like creating chances, but nothing in terms
yeah.
of scoring them,
Yeah.
because it was always uh fizzing away from the post, or like the goalkeeper was always active. Both the goalkeepers were
Yeah.
active, and then it took
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a turn for the goal scorer. Who was it? I always keep forgetting his name. Yeah,
It was Miranchuk.
Miranchuk. Yeah, could have
Yeah.
scored from the right foot. Did the switch it on to the left foot and like top
Yeah. That was
corner.
a good finish, though.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good finish. So I think that's what the game needed. Like somebody to be
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit more creative and also like also get lucky with having space.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, so many chances like went down begging and they
Hmm.
just couldn't do it. And but I think Russia were like pretty dominant.
I thought Finland created a lot of chances, though. I
Yeah,
thought they
they
created
did.
quite a
Like
bit.
they,
Yeah.
but they just had
Yeah,
like
like
one.
the other striker except for Pukki, I'm not going to even try to pretend to pronounce his name because it. I read it and I was like, yeah, this is not something I'm going to try. The other striker,
Polo.
he was getting into great positions, especially the offside goal. That was so unlucky. I felt so bad for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
excellent work. Like his movement was excellent.
yeah,
Even Pukki got set up, but I think the problem was that the defense was able to handle it.
yeah.
And uh, I can't get over the Immobile. I don't know. Like the Italy thing. Like I don't know. Like I don't know if there is anything else you want to discuss about this so that we can go back to the Italy team and I want to figure out what's going
No,
on there.
just I mean this group also opens up before you want to go to Immobile.
Yeah.
Because like Russia is one now, and now they are playing Denmark, and
Yeah.
Denmark are playing Belgium today. So basically, this is
Oof.
Denmark's do or die, and I think
Yeah.
Russia
This
should
is.
make it out of the group now, because Finland's next game is Belgium.
Yeah. Yeah.
So uh, I think I mean, this is what Russia did better than Turkey, because Turkey played the strongest team in their group and
Yeah.
Russia played the strongest group in their group. But like, look at the game two results, the match day two results for both the teams. Turkey again
Hmm.
decides to not turn up versus Wales, and um,
Yeah, they were
Russia.
weird. Like I didn't get some of the things they were doing. Like in the beginning, the defensive line was too far out, too far back. Like they were playing very deep. Then they suddenly moved up. Like Turkey, I don't know what approach Turkey was trying to see. Like I don't know how they were trying to approach this game.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Like I am
Yeah.
because I
Anyway,
hadn't seen this Turkish team, and that is why like you listen to what the experts are saying, right? People who actually watch the teams and stuff like that, and
yeah.
they were interested and they were hyped about Turkey. And
Mhm.
everybody has been disappointed because they have not shown even an ounce of what made them exciting before this.
Yeah. Go on with your Immobile before we.
Yeah, okay. Like the first game I watched, Italy, it's a 3-0 scoreline. Good, yeah, that's a good scoreline, but it wasn't a convincing 3-0. Like it didn't seem like even close, like kind of similar to what Portugal did. And then suddenly the hype for Italy is going there. Suddenly, like they were dark horses before this, and actually I was much bigger. I was more interested in Italy as an actual contender for this championship before the tournament than I am now, because this team I don't think is going to be able to beat the big ones, because there are clear issues. The back line is an issue, especially now that Chiellini is off. They are like any team that can actually test them at the back. Like put in Mbappe, put in Dan James. Like even Italy versus Wales would be exciting because Bale and Dan James, they're not going to be that this is not going to
We'll
be
see that
easy for this Italian team.
in the
Yeah,
next
we are
5
going to
days when
watch
they're
it in a
playing.
few
Yeah.
days. And
Yeah.
like if Dan James and Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey are become a cause Italy a lot of problems at the back. Like I'm not saying they're not dark horse contenders or they're not a good team. I am just not sold on it. That's all.
True. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
And Ciro Immobile, I'm not buying. Like he scores goals in Italy. Italy is the easiest place of the top 5 leagues to score goals in. I think Romelu Lukaku will be the first one to tell you that. I have nothing against Romelu Lukaku. We've talked about him and how brilliant he's been. But Italy is the easiest league to score goals in right now. That is just like that's almost like you can't call it a fact, because it's at the end of the day it's going to be opinion based, because there's no direct way to compare. But yeah, it's the closest thing you can get to a fact in football. And I mean, I don't know. His movement is okay. He's a good. He's Aguero, but he's not good at all the things that Aguero is actually good at.
You can't compare him to Aguero, man. Come on.
It's weird. I don't get it. Like I don't get it. Like he's not a great passer of the ball. His link-up play is average at best.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been hyped so much, and what he did at Dortmund, I think you would have seen it much better than I did. He fits in well only against certain types of defenses. I think like he's not you can't take on the best in the world with him. That's another big problem that I have.
But he's there to do what he's doing, which he did last night.
Oh no! It's not my problem with him. It's not. I don't actually have a problem with Immobile. I just like the people who are hyping it up. And another bonkers thing that really pisses me off is their unbeaten streak. Who cares? You have not beaten anyone big. Who cares?
Yeah.
Why should I care? This is, I mean, what value does it have? Like when you're beating up qualifying teams and friendly teams like that, you designed it that way. Like it's documented that Italy did not want to play the big teams because they were trying to build up a team with a young talent pool. And only like, even then, like you don't trust your young talent pool. Bastoni, who's supposed to be one of the best defenders last year, like in the past season, you put in Acerbi instead of him. Like I was very surprised by that. I thought you would want somebody younger to like just balance what Bonucci offers you, because Bonucci cannot offer you pace. I don't know how fast Bastoni is, but I'm pretty sure he's much faster than Acerbi or Bonucci.
Yeah,
and there are question marks over this team. That's all. Like the hype that they're supposedly tournament favorites and stuff like that, I'm not buying even a single.
Are you reading those articles? Wow. Okay.
I'm not reading anything about Italy because I'm talking about people. No, the actual articles will generally, like, especially from a good site, like they will try and back up their claims with actual statistics and numbers and actual opinions which make sense and actual observations which make sense. I'm just talking about people in general vicinity talking about these teams. And like I don't want to get into what the experts think, because they clearly know more than me, so I'm not going to try and counter their opinions. Like that's not how I look at it, because when a person is doing a job as a profession, their understanding of the profession is much higher than anybody else looking outside in could be, right? So I'm questioning the people who are watching the same thing than me and you are watching. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Another, at least the entertaining group who don't have defense are playing today. Ukraine is playing North Macedonia, so I'm expecting North Macedonia
Oh
to
yeah,
score at least one.
yeah.
And then Netherlands is playing Austria. Hopefully Austria, like, yeah, they got
Netherlands. Oh God, this Netherlands
they
team we've discussed before as to how they
Yeah.
got so lucky with Ukraine. I thought, and
I think Austria should like like teach them a lesson. It's like very close, but I still expect Netherlands to make it through this match.
yeah,
Like maybe it's going to be again another 3-2.
yeah.
And then Belgium is playing. Who is Belgium playing?
Belgium would be playing
Denmark.
Denmark, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know how
That should be.
much
I
that's
think Belgium,
psychological.
Denmark, and actually all three games are kind of interesting because North Macedonia, just for the storyline perspective,
Yeah.
just for watching Pandev and what he's, because the funny thing about it is the storyline only makes sense if the guy whose storyline you're basing it on actually turns up, and Pandev has
Mhm.
definitely done that.
Yeah.
So that is why any game that North Macedonia plays, it will have a level of intrigue to it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I mean,
another
I
thing
don't
that
know.
I want to talk about is Arnautovic got banned, right? So
Yeah.
have we checked as to any what's going to be the next game that they play after Netherlands? Ukraine, right? Have
Yeah.
we checked any of the players on the Ukraine squad whose mothers or fathers are Albanian or any of the countries that Arnautovic supposedly hates? Like, I'm not sure on the history. Like, I'll be very honest. So
Yeah.
I don't want to
Mhm.
go and put my foot in my mouth, basically. But yeah, maybe we should check the heritage of the people who are playing in the Ukrainian team so that they are kept away from Arnautovic at least in the next game.
Yeah.
Because the Netherlands one he can't touch, at least he won't be in the stadium, so he won't
Yeah.
be in the pitch at least. So
I mean, I'm surprised that it's just a one match ban. Like, so much for.
well, what's his problem? Like, I don't get. I think there's an article on the Athletic that came out, like actually getting into detail.
Mhm.
I think I'll read that, like, just to figure out what's going on, because
Yeah.
it's a curiosity. Like, this guy has always been a problem. Like, in terms of, I don't know how he gets along with teammates, and I'm not going to assume
He
anything.
doesn't get along well with anyone. So I
Yeah,
think
that's what it looks like from the outside, right? But
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
what's your problem? Like, what are you chasing? Like, generally there are a few players who are kind of have you seen something like this before? Like, somebody so irritable and annoyed by everything around him.
Yeah, I think
Like,
he just brings that personality along with him, so he's going to be remembered for that.
yeah, but that's not a personality trait that you generally find in footballers, is it?
No,
Especially
no.
nowadays when there is so much media training and stuff like that. Like,
Mhm.
even though Raheem Sterling might be super pissed at everybody around him, and he has every right to be, but
Yeah.
like, especially being a black man in the sport, I think that's the hardest thing you can do. Like, I think it's this. It would be there would be a close second if there were a lot of like brown people in the sport, but that's not
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I mean, what the fuck's this guy's problem? Like, like,
Well,
you don't get along with. It's not even just this incident. Like, there are so many incidents that have happened. He's had problem at Stoke. He's had problem. He was at West Ham at one point of time, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah. Then he went to China.
Yeah.
And well,
Yeah, went to China to chase money. Then that didn't work out well. And
well, at least he did not get so much coverage when he was in China. So I guess the best way to like
yeah, well,
deal with this problem
yeah,
is to
you
not
can
give him
be.
attention
There's
at
not a lot
all.
of Albanian people there to be offended by him. So
Yeah.
I guess that
Mhm.
in that sense, that's a good thing. I guess it is
Yeah.
Albania, right? I'm not mistaking it with Armenia because there are two completely different conflicts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Serbian and Albanian, something there that's going on. That's been going on. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Let's not try to predict today's games, but what's your call
let's just
on?
pick who wins. Let's just pick who wins, win,
Yes,
lose or
yes.
draw. Let's just do that. Yeah.
I think Denmark is going to, like, psychologically. I mean, even though Ericsson has like recovered, I don't. Yeah, they're not going to be.
I don't know. It could go the other way also. I think you talked about it before when we were discussing the actual incident.
Yeah.
You said that this could really spur them on and they'll fight for Christian and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is an element of that, right? When you fight for those around you, and especially with there is a closeness in this Danish system because we were trying to observe these things when it happened, in the sense that a lot of these guys are of a very similar age, and they know each other for a really long time.
Mhm.
I guess it's there with most international systems, but yeah, this one at least it's documented, so we know.
Yeah.
And
True. Yeah, but I think Belgium should like not
oh
not
yeah,
not
how do you
steamroll
stop
them, but
Lukaku? That's the only question you have to ask,
they
right?
should be very professional with how they do it, and so it should be a decent game for them. Just turn up
Yeah.
and do your basics. You'll win the game. North Macedonia is an interesting one with Ukraine.
Hmm.
They should get one goal, but Ukraine should win this. Otherwise, Ukraine cannot make it out.
You
of the group.
have to win this if you're Ukraine, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're done. Like otherwise it's over, right? Like
Mm.
because
But for the
Austria, because Austria, Netherlands. Honestly, I think any of those three can top the group. Like
Yeah.
I'm not buying Netherlands at all, at all. Like I think I'm very clear about it, and I think
think that's
Austria
a
can win this. I
that's a
honestly think
draw.
Austria can
That's a
win
draw.
this.
That's a draw. That's a
Yeah.
draw for me. Austria,
Yeah,
Netherlands.
that's such a good group for Netherlands, I believe. Like because
Mhm.
they'll be able to turn up with 4 points at least, and 4 points is almost guaranteed qualification. Like Wales is almost guaranteed to go into the round of 16. Similarly, I think just get a draw and get a win, and you're guaranteed. Like there is no way you cannot be one of the 4 teams who get in as third place position, as third place teams. So, I hate this Netherlands team. I hate the fact that they've got an easy group with them. Like not an
Yeah, well,
easy group, a group that's easy to qualify from. Like
yeah,
the
the
easy
same
would
for.
be the wrong word to use.
I mean, if they have to win, they have to beat the best, and that's what's also going to
Yeah,
be the case
but
for
I think that's
Italy.
what their problem will be. They'll have to face round of 16. Most likely, they'll face a difficult opposition, and
Yeah.
especially if they're not first. Like,
Yeah.
let's see. I think Austria can win this. I would go with Austria in this one.
Okay, draw for me.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us along today, and we're excited for day 6 of the European Championship, and we are going to see you tomorrow morning once again for the morning after the Euros. Thanks, Anshuman, for joining us.
Yeah.
Again and every day. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Ciao.